Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and I'm getting a ton of messages as soon as I start this video, of course, because that's what happens. I'm already in a scatterbrain mode, and of course, that's what's going to happen. So, we're going to do the Q3 updates on my crafty goals a little bit differently. I've had a few requests about really doing a thumb through of how I am using my planner that I made for myself. It's not really a planner, it's an organizer. But how I'm actually using it, when information is in it, how I'm compiling information as I go. So at the end of this video, I will do that. But first, I want to go over my Q3 progress towards meeting my goals. Also, what are my paper crafting empties, which really not going to really take too much time. As I've said, it's very hard for me to find time to get down here, situated, and have time to actually work on things. So this year's been a little dry on the paper crafting, unfortunately, but I'm trying to get my cards done. I'm trying real hard. I have a stack of partially finished Halloween cards, a stack of partially finished fall Thanksgiving cards, and I have yet to even begin my Christmas cards, which is a little terrifying because normally by now I have the first 100 done. So anyway, let's crack on with the goals and where I am. So as I've said in the past, this is where my goals are in my book. They're on a little lifty sheet here. I have lots of flips and flaps and pockets in here so I can jot notes to myself and everything else. So my first goal is to use 75 pounds of supplies this year. So far, I have used 72.76 pounds of crafting supplies. That does not include a lot of the things that have come off my 3D printer and been used immediately. I wanted to make 400 cards. So far, I'm at 311 cards. So I'm doing well on my card goal, just not as quickly as I need to, and not the ones I need to. Covering my stash of Dollar Tree notepads. So since I did the first few in the first quarter, I have not done any more, unfortunately. 20 rolls of washi tape used up. I am at 12. So I'm making really good progress, especially given the fact I still have fall and Christmas cards left to make. So I am making really good progress on the washi tape goal. It doesn't sound like it, but I am. Work into 2,500 grams of sock yarn. So I was trying to work into 25 hanks of sock yarn. So far I am at 12. So I am lagging a little bit behind on that. Working through my bulky stash. I have not touched that since Q2. Decide what to do with the Jada 20 and 20. That is one of the ones that is marked off as complete. I have made zero progress on the peppermint blanket once again. Make 10 blankets. So far, I am at 6 blankets completed. I have 2 in progress. So 2 in progress that aren't just like granny square blankets. I have 2 dedicated projects that I'm working on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people I was hoping to have blankets done for Christmas. I have 2 finished, 1 started. 1, the yarn has been pulled for. However, the plan for the other 2 has changed dramatically. They're going to be getting something different for Christmas this year. Their needs have changed. So I may as well go ahead and mark those off and do blankets for them next year, but their needs have changed this year. 20 grams of mandala cake. That's something that I did finish off earlier this year. Use, donate, gift my Red Heart and Impeccable stash. So I have been making great progress in using it. Now, Erica over at the Lopsided Crafter did donate a whole bunch more to me. Some of that did get donated to my old prayer shawl ministry. The church we're currently attending here does have a prayer shawl ministry, but they're not taking donations of anything right now because they haven't been able to meet in almost 2 years. So right now, they're not taking any kind of donations for that. I know that the other large Catholic church nearby, they are meeting and taking donations, but as I'm not in any way affiliated with them and going to Mass or anything else, I decided I would take it back to Columbia and donate it to my old church. and they are loving it. They got a huge donation of stuff, and not to mention the finished prayer shawls and lap gans and things that I had finished. The last time I was down there, they got a huge box of stuff, and I'm still not sure where the new coordinator for that ministry is storing it, because I know part of it had to go to her house, and I don't know where she's put it, but yeah, it's pretty entertaining. Make 5 shawls to donate. I finished that way early in the year. I did prayer shawls over Lent, so I may have actually done a count of how many I donated. No, I didn't do a count of how many I sent off. I think I ended up, because I've taken 2 loads to them this year. I think I have donated probably close to 25 shawls this year. Because the last batch, I think, was 14 shawls with 2 blankets. So yeah, I mean, I've way exceeded my goals there. Finish your frog, all of 2020's WIPs. I did that. Make a sweater. I did that. I've made 2 tank top sweaters, and I'm working on a cardigan that was sort of designed by Penny Appleyard, sort of designed by me, based on my eyelet shawl pattern. So I will have 3. And I've got a couple on deck that I'm thinking about making. Use enough yarn to put holiday paper pads in calyx. So on the bottom row of this, I'd wanted to use enough yarn that I could move all the yarn up and put my holiday paper pads underneath. I did not do that. However, I have used enough supplies from my desk area. Let's see if I can, we'll lift and turn and see if that one right there. I know it's a train wreck. That's why I haven't done a new craft room tour, because nothing is really where I want it to be or how I want it to be. But I do have all but fall now on the bottom row of that one. So I did do quite a bit of reorganization of the furniture in here. I know it doesn't seem like it compared to the original video I did almost 2 years ago now, but it is a very different setup, and I was able to move a lot of things off that smaller calyx unit. So now those are on the bottom row of that. So I didn't do what I intended to do, but I did kind of do what I intended to do. And I'm going to be honest, you guys, my yarn ban is out the window. I will have to come up with something else to do next year. I don't want to do a no-buy, because I enjoy purchasing new things. New things excite me. I want to work with things all the time. There have been some very exciting opportunities I've had this year that I haven't had in previous years. And I took full advantage of them. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, like, not just during my birthday when I went to the fiber market, but when I went to the yarn crawl, which, by the way, I apparently want a gift basket. I have to go pick it up this week. I'm so excited. I don't know what's in it. So yeah, I want to limit what I purchase next year. I will probably be more or less on a no-buy for the rest of 2021, but yeah, I failed at my yarn. I mean, and I probably haven't failed as poorly as I think I have, because I have used a substantial amount of yarn, but I'm not going to go back and count up my purchases. I do have receipts and credit card tallies for that. I did not exceed my overall stop budget, but I did. It's out the window. It is what it is. It's out the window. So that's where I stand on the goals. The project list of things I want to make. Like I said, 2 of the blankets, they're getting something different. Their needs have changed. As they haven't made a public announcement, I won't say anything else, but their needs have changed. 3 of the immediate family littles, I have 2 out of 3 of those done. And then I want to do a blanket for my godson. I do have the yarn for my godson's project. It probably will not be done this year. It'll be started, but probably not finished based on what I have to get done before Christmas. The architecture scarf is going to have to be frogged. I've made a mistake. I cannot figure out where. It's been in holding for like 3 months now for me to try to figure out where I messed it up, and I can't figure it out. So I've got to frog where I am. I'm only about 25 grams into it, so it's not horrible. Granny pocket shawl. I have not made that yet. I do have the yarn for it. I want to use this wine yarn right here. This is a Heartland USA yarn from Lion Brand, and this is the color Isle Royal. And I know exactly what yarn I want to do with that, but I have not started it. I have a lot of need to be done projects that I've got to deal with. Things have dramatically changed for the last little stretch here, and for the rest of the year, a lot of my best laid intentions probably will not occur just because where certain things changed, I need to be flexible. So it's all good. It's all wonderful, but things have changed and I got to get on the ball with some things. My Road to Nowhere shawl is about 60% done. I have not worked on it in the last probably 3 weeks. But it is, I've made very, very good progress on that. It is on the hook. It is in progress and it is not messed up yet. I'm very close to finishing the striping section, and then it'll just be putting on the rib border, blocking it, and weaving in ends. I have not done my purple sock head hat. That's one that will probably have to wait for the new year. It is what it is. Fingering weight scrap cowl got done. Fingering weight scrap hat got done. The matching fingerless gloves have not gotten done. I am hoping to get those done before we turn to winter here. Winter can start anytime from Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day. So I do kind of have a band of time where I can, but I do have a pattern in mind. I do think I know what I want to do. I do have the scraps together in a box behind my desk. I know exactly where they are. It's just a matter of getting started on it. But I'm really excited to have the whole set done because I really liked wearing that set when I was walking in the morning and it was freezing cold. So that's where I am on the specific projects that I had lined out and the progress I've made on those. On to my paper crafting empties. I have finished off one thing of sticky dots. These were foam dots. I've used this entire box doing Halloween cards. This was a sheet of enamel dots, completely gone. I have one, these are going to be hard to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. These were strips that held orange rhinestones. And they come stuck together, so it's easier for me to cut them into strips and then... So it's not the whole sheet, but it is a strip of them, and I've got 4 strips of those that are done and dusted. I have another package of foam dots. These are the ones from scrapbook.com, which if you're looking for a reasonable place to find foam squares and foam dots, these are the squares, so they took up the whole sheet. There was no wastage whatsoever in these. I do really like these. They're very thin, so they give you just enough dimension. You don't have to worry about things getting torn up in the post. This was the 3D foam squares large. And it doesn't say how many squares were on here, but there were quite a few squares, and I used the whole package. I finished off 4 things of ATG tape. I am using the tape from Tape Jungle, still loving it. And another 5 rolls of washi tape. So there we are on my paper crafting empties. I have not finished off another paper pad since Q2 when I showed you that I had finished off the Halloween pad that I used to make my Halloween cards. My fall cards came from a season collection. Let me set this to the side. I'll actually pause this. It's like I did a jump cut. Jump cut. Jazz hands. The fall cards that I did came from this paper pad collection. It's from Park Lane. I did not write down when I got this one. It says manufacturing date 2018. So it's now a 3-year-old paper collection. You can see where I took out a huge hunk in here. Well, kind of right there. You can see that big old empty spot right there. That's where the paper came from. So I didn't finish a paper pad for those, but I did use the entire fall section of this. So we're left with spring, Easter, winter, and Christmas. And I won't be using this for Christmas cards this year, but I did enjoy this. I'm not sure how I'm going to use part of this, because part of this really isn't great for card making. That, I think, if you make your own calendar, I think would work really well, though. If you do one of those binder calendars, I think there's a lot of things in there that are really made for calendar people, not even scrapbookers, but calendar people. So, no new paper pads. Hopefully, at the end of the year, I will have 1 or 2 more paper pads left to share. I have a huge stack of semi-finished thank you cards and just because thinking of you cards, but those are going to have to wait till I'm done with Christmas, because coming up real fast. Yes, sirree. All right. So that brings us to the end of the quarter updates. So now I'm going to move into what my book actually has, how I'm using it, and what it looks like now that I am using it. I have shared in the past as I make these and share with you the finished object, what they look like on the inside. But I have had a few questions about what I'm doing with it. So my pretty little decorated notebook here. This is a Kaiser Crafts paper pad. I do have my paper pad for next year's book. I have a pocket up here. I have my little flap with my things to do here. Same thing here. I have my projects here on a little flap, and I have some personal math numbers there. Over here is where we have the yarn finished objects. And as I finish them, add them to this list, mark the grams and the yards I have used. This year, I did start implementing at the end of every month, highlighting the end of the month and adding in what our totals are every month. Because when I was doing the yarn bingo videos, which I won't have time to film this month once again, I was sharing each month's totals and where I stood so far on the year. So that I found that to be very helpful. It also helps me to not have to add up across multiple pages generally, as we have different months coming through. So far I have 82 yarny finished objects. I have a tab in this section. So this whole section from my circular tab here, and that's just another pocket so I can slip things in if I need to. From this circular tab to this circular tab is all dedicated to writing down the weight of my finished objects. And I have a tally back here of certain items like hats and shawls, where I am on the bulky and stuff like that. This is my other FOs. You can see where the weights are missing on some of these 3D printed items here. I don't have nearly as much of this year as I normally would, but we're making do. It is what it is. But these are my non-yarny finished objects, including the 78 finished Halloween cards I have. And then I have tallies here for the number of cards, the notebooks I've covered, paper pads I finished off, washi tape, sticker packs. We have another pocket here, and obviously one here where I've been keeping my yarn balls. And in this section is where I write the name of the project, when I started, when I finished it, what yarn I'm using, the weight, the length, and any notes and information I need to reproduce that product. At the end of the year, I have some pictures saved. I will put pictures on cardstock and paste them in here. long-term WIPs are here on these little tags, so I can flip through and find my WIPs. I do have certain ball bands I'm keeping for different informations. Some I was smart enough to actually clip in with paper clips. Not all. Like I say, this one because I did a review on it and wanted to keep information. But some of these have huge, long notes sections. Some of these, I might not have any notes for that project. It is what it is. As I go along each month, I am adding in my yarn bingo cards. They are taped in with some washi tape. Oh, goodness gracious. Right here, and many of them do actually have tabs. This one doesn't, but it's cut down to fit, so it fits into my notebook. And that way I can kind of actually group things by the month, see what I did that month, see what I worked on that month. My final section is very small this time. And this is just a blank spot for me to write. I'm going to have, this is where I'm going to put like my plans for 2022. I do have some other mathy things I need to start using this for. So I will probably come back and start using that here over the next probably month or two. And then once again, I have another section where I can stick Post-it notes as needed just to keep them organized and help me keep organized. So it's really not an expansive content. I mean, this is very basic, very simple, very basic. I will have plenty of empty pages to be able to, tape in some of the pictures and little lift files or waterfalls, things like that, to where I can write the number. This is FO 15. WIP number 26. So I can go through here and go, okay, that's WIP number 26. What notes do I have on that? I can go to the FO 15 and see, how many yards. Yeah, if I'm just want to know what I did in that month and want to see what I did, I'll be able to do that. But it's a very simple book. And that is by design. I don't need to micromanage every second of every day. While I am a list person and while I do plan ahead and try to live my life in a semi-routine, for crafting, I don't try to do that. Even my goals and stuff, they're just reminders of what I wanted to have accomplished by the end of the year. It's not you must comply, you must finish, you're a bad person if you don't do this. It's nothing like that. I thrive when I have a place to go to see where I need to be or want to be. This is a wishes and wants thing, not a must thing. So that's all it really is. I mean, if I need a full page for like the granny squares, because I have 15 different yarns going into them, I use a whole page. If it's like most of the other projects where the notes are scant and I'm following just the pattern directly, I don't really, I split those into two projects on the same page. So that's really it. I mean, it's a very simple design. It's very simple by design. It is split up to where I have the most paper in that middle section because I have a lot more WIPs and things to go in the WIPs section than I do in my finished objects and my notes section. So I did put the bulk of the paper in that one section. I think it's like 10 page or 12 pages in the front, 10 pages in the back. And then the pages that I use to build the tab pages. I do use the tutorial from May Made It. If I can find that real quick, I will link it down below. Otherwise, go to May Made It's notebook tutorial section on her YouTube page and you will find, I think it's the one that came out in 2019. And that's the one that I use to do these. Mine have all held up really well so far. I mean, 2020's notebook got beaten up pretty good and it's still going strong. This one's still doing very well, and that's with the cats knocking it off my desk just about every day. So that's what I have. That's what it is. Definitely go check out May Made It's channel and videos in general. Her notebook covering tutorials are wonderful. The altered journal books are wonderful. So I'm cruising right along with my, sorry, we're very dusty here. We haven't had real good rain in a while, and the fall allergies are bonkers. So anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you have any questions or comments, you know, please, once again, as always, feel free to comment down below. I love seeing what you guys have to say and what you guys think as well. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else for today's video. So I hope you're taking care. I'll see you real soon. Love you guys.